Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the great Cynthia Linox. She's the host of the Cynthia Linox Show, and she has dedicated her life to helping others find the purpose for their life. Her journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I know too many young people who their parents told them, become a doctor, you'll make a lot of money. Become a lawyer, you'll make a lot of money. And then they wake up 5, 10 years into the field and they hate their life because they were living somebody else's dream. Cynthia Linox is in the studio today. She's the host of the Cynthia Linox Show, and she has dedicated her life to helping others find their purpose. Thanks for coming on the show.
I'm happy to share the space with you.
Absolutely. Well, it's an honor. Let's talk about that, because you launched your show a few years ago, 3 years ago?
That is correct, 3 years ago.
And tell us why you started your show.
Well, after I left my my work in corporate America, I became a life coach. And in talking with people one-on-one, I learned that there is just so many people to reach, because human suffering is perpetrated by the fact that people do not know who they are. People have lost themselves, and most people are living according to someone else's script, not realizing that they can create their own identity. So they've taken on an identity that's not theirs, and hence we have people with anxiety, depression, and things of that nature. What happens is that it makes you vulnerable to emotions like envy and jealousy and comparing yourself with other people and competing with other people. And there is no need for that. Once you become aware of who you are, then you can walk in the fullness of that with the confidence, living life intentionally and be fulfilled by that. You live authentically and organically.
Yes.
So
that's so important. We're going to scroll down her website, and as we scroll down your website, I want you to talk about the kinds of guests you've had on your show over the last few years.
My show, Jeff, when I first started 3 years ago, I had 3 guests, and I wasn't sure. I was kind of feeling my way into really what I wanted to do. And then I discovered through my coaching business that the need is greater. People are having issues because they don't know who they are.
Yes.
So I have really, my show has really been a one-person type platform, and I'm okay with that, simply because what I learned from my coaching experience, I get to share some of those experiences that would help a greater audience. So I have done most of my shows solo, which I enjoy.
I love it, and you're great at it. We're going to show some video from one of your recent shows.
Okay.
What kind of topics do you like to tackle on your show?
Topics that I like to tackle is really the issue of identity, because that is a big issue that I find with people. People walk around, they really have not tapped into the greatness of who they are. Once you learn that you are a magnificent, creative being, there is no limit. You learn your capacity, you get rid of limiting beliefs, some limiting beliefs that we have taken on and inherited an identity that's not ours. But once you discover that you are the architect of your life, then the work begins.
So important. Let's talk about imposter syndrome, because I think that's a big thing, especially with young people these days. Sometimes a young person gets in charge of a team and they're managing people their parents' age.
Right, right. It's interesting because when I started my show, I was trained by someone in the field, in broadcast and so forth. And the first few days, I had an experience of imposter syndrome. And I called my trainer and I said, I'm not sure that I can do this. Having gone through this whole experience of getting to know who Cynthia is, and I just forged ahead. I had to talk to myself, and I became convinced, and again, that is creating my own identity. And I told myself that this is something that I could do, that I could gain experience in, and I believed myself. That's the whole thing. You can talk to yourself, but if you don't believe yourself, and if you don't have the courage to follow your own intuition, then it's on mute. You've got to, the greatest relationship you can have is the relationship with yourself. The greatest person you will ever meet and know is yourself. It's not your spouse, it's not your kid. So, saying, oh, this is the man of my life. No. This is the love of my life. No, I am the love of my life because I've known me the longest, my whole life.
That's so powerful. And
the same applies to you.
Well, and unfortunately, many people are guilty of negative self-talk. We will see an imperfection in the mirror, or we'll compare ourselves to our friends, and suddenly we're criticizing ourselves. So
exactly.
Talk about the danger of negative self-talk.
Well, the thing is, in our culture today, and with all of social media that's available to us, the tendency is to compare ourselves. We get into comparing, we get into imitating, competing. We compete and we compare our relationships, our kids, our work. We compare everything and we try to match up, not knowing, again, once you recognize that you are a magnificent creative being, and that's not just a phrase, it's not just a cliche, magnificent, the uniqueness of you, the imagination that you have, and the trust that you will have in yourself, you can create the identity that is authentically yours. People that compare and compete with others are people that really don't know who they are, because the world needs you in the fullness of who you are. Not a little bit. I don't need you to do this like someone else. No, in the fullness of yourself.
So powerful. Cynthia, we have about 2 minutes left, so look into the camera on the left and give some words of wisdom, final thoughts.
My friend, what I want to say to you today is that you are the architect of your life. And once you take on that journey of self-discovery, you will become aware of your potential. Confidence will ensue in you, and you will empower yourself. Not me empowering you. My show is not, we don't tell people what to do and we don't tell people what to believe. You will discover it yourself once you acknowledge, recognize, and admit the greatness of you. So follow that path.
Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. We're going to end with her website, which is thecynthialinoxshow.com. Cynthia Linox, thanks for sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.